Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. What are we doing today? Today we are doing the walkthrough for July's art challenge that I did. It was the World of Watercolor challenge that I did. And a bit of disclaimer that for this challenge I wanted to get it for you. I use mostly the core paints. Now I have a set of six representations, and these are how they're swatched out. Yes, these are the core paints that I have here, and it's a set of 12 representations, sorry. And it started with the introductory set, then I got 4 sets from the Paddlefill packs, and then I bought 2 sets open stock to complete the set. And I use this for my World of Watercolor challenge. I also use mostly these brushes here. These were the main brushes that I use. This is this one here from the 77 Squirrel Hair series, the Oval Wash. I am slowly but surely beginning to like this brush. It is really nice. Look at that point. Look at how beautiful that point is. Yeah, that is a gorgeous point, and it's able to hold a lot of water, and I can't believe how amazing it is to work with. So yeah, I really enjoyed using this brush. And this is Real Squirrel here, by the way. And also the 2 other Real Squirrel brush that I use, Real Squirrel hair brushes that I use, are from Rosa Gallery. Here's their number 4 round and their number 2 round. And I use mainly the number 2 round like a fine detail brush, and I use the number 4 round like an overall brush. And I had great success with these. So yeah, that was amazing. And now we're going to talk about this book. Okay, so now this book here is made by me. It's made by Dawn Special. This was made from, I talked about this book before when I did the core review, made from the Shazam 100 cotton rag paper. They claim it to be 90 pounds, but it feels more like 300 pounds or 640 GSM. And this paper is really soft, I have to say. It's a really soft paper, you know, and that's the best way I can describe it. Yes, it's a rough press paper, so the paper itself is really rough. Let me show you what I started with. And so the paper itself is really rough, and yes, it has these natural edges or deco edges, but the natural edges, but it's a really soft paper. And for this, I had to be very mindful about 1, the type of pens that I use in this, 2, the type of pencils that I draw in this with, and I had to be mindful with how I erase this paper, because it couldn't take the eraser that I normally use. So I normally use one of these 2 erasers. This is a comb eraser that I think I got from a Paddlefill pack. Oh no, I think I got this from a scroller box, this comb eraser here. And then this Milan Nata Negra eraser here that I found here in my country. And these are the 2 erasers that I normally use on a daily basis. But these 2 erasers, guys, I should say, is too rough, too harsh on this paper, because the paper itself is really soft. So for erasing mistakes on this, I had to use the kneadable eraser. The next thing is I couldn't use a regular HB pencils on these, because it's too harsh, too firm for this paper. This worked fine. This is the Blackwing matte pencil that I have. Yeah, let me bring you guys in a bit so you can focus on this. Yeah, this is the Blackwing matte pencil that I have, and as you can see, it's a really small little pencil now. I've gotten a lot of use out of this. And I guess it's because this is more like a, you know, a 3 maybe 4B kind of pencil. It was able to work better on this paper to do these illustrations with. So yeah, I needed to make that point known that this paper is really soft. It's rough pressed, yes, but it's really soft. It's not really a firm paper to deal with like other papers that I'm used to working with. Having said that, with the paints and the brushes that I used the natural hair brushes with this paper, and it seemed to work fine. And I think my first illustration in these papers were gouache, and I used those with synthetic brushes, and it seemed to work fine. But when it came to pencil drawings or erasing, you have to be mindful with those. Now that I made such a long intro, it's time for us to get into watercolor. My watercolor challenge. It's not the World of Watercolor because I did not use the World of Watercolor prompts. It was the July watercolor challenge, and I chose to use food from Japan. And we start off with this one here. Let me bring you guys in a bit. This one here. And this one I know because when I was studying in Asia, I actually did eat the traditional ramen soup. It was really delicious. And when I came back home, I tried to mimic it here in my country of Belize, and it takes really long to make. It took me like maybe 8 to 10 hours. I remember starting early in the morning, like 6 a.m., and the soup itself wasn't ready till like almost 2 in the afternoon. So it took like really long for the broth to make, and that was like, okay. And then we have this one here. I didn't taste this when I was in Asia, studying in Asia, so I thought it was really nice. I love how it looks like a little bird. It's I don't want to spoil the name because I think it's Hayoko. So I'm hoping that's how they pronounce it, Hayoko. This one I did try when I was in Asia. I really like the vegetarian version to this one. I know they make it with different meats in it. Some have pork, some have chicken. But I really enjoyed the vegetarian one to this one. It's kind of funny because the dorm where I stayed had a little restaurant that made these, and I did stop by and try it. So it was really good, and I still can't pronounce it. Bozi. This other one here, I didn't try when I was in Asia. So the only two I tried when I was in Asia was these two. The Kiritanpo. Yeah, this is really nice. The Zunda Mochi. I am hoping Belize doesn't have a Japanese restaurant. I mean, I know that there is a Indian restaurant here, Sumati. We have a Lebanese restaurant here. We have various Hispanic restaurants here, being that we're Central American. I know we have Taiwanese, we have Chinese, Cantonese, and we have those restaurants here. But I've never seen a Japanese restaurant. Maybe there is one. I'll have to Google it to see if there's a Japanese restaurant here in Belize where I could try some of these foods that I draw. It'll be super cool to try them. Now, here we are at this first part is the gyoza and the tempura and the tamagoyaki. And yeah, I would love to try the tempura though, or the tempura. I would love to try that. Of course, you would have seen me do sushi as a part of my perspective on the core paints. And then I did gonkun. And this one, I wanted to try this one when I was in Asia. And when I had the opportunity to try it, we were just so busy. I don't remember what we were doing, but I didn't have the opportunity to try it. But I would love to try this onigiri. I would love to try it. Melon soda. Yeah. So this was it, guys. It was just 12 little doodles that I did for the July challenge. It was so much fun. The interesting thing was looking at all these different foods and see how the colors and how they are. Some of them I did try sushi when I was in Asia, studying in Asia. So there's three of these Japanese food that out of the 12 that I drew that I tried. And I would love to try melon soda. I think that would be so cool. I really did enjoy it. I had a lot of fun looking at colors. It was one of like the first times that I did, and I know I don't want this to be super long. I just want to say this last point, that it was like one of the first times that when I did an illustration, I had to color from the reference, because normally when I do illustrations, I don't normally color from the reference. A lot of them is from my imagination, and when I do use references to draw something, it's like multiple references. Like I take a pose here, or a hand position here, or a hair texture from this picture, or or the way the clothing folds on this picture, or something. I look at so many different references when I do references, that I don't really need the amount of references just to do rendered illustrations. But for these ones, I did the same thing, looking at multiple references. But when it came to coloring, I really had to look at real life reference on how to color these food groups, because I really want to pay respect to the Japanese culture. And I just enjoyed it. I would love to try some of these foods. Like I said, I really want to try this tempura, so I'll definitely be looking up to see if there's a Japanese restaurant somewhere in my country, and maybe me and my husband could take a little trip there. Guys, let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Did you guys did any challenges for July? You don't have to do the World of Watercolor, but you could do a watercolor challenge and did what I did, come up with your own prompts, or do your own direction. Did you do that for July? What was it like? What watercolor paints did you use? Or did you use watercolor pencils, watercolor markers, watercolor inks? There's just so many different types of watercolors. There's pigment watercolors, like the powder ones that we explored in a previous scroller box. There are just so many things we can explore when it comes to watercolor. What kind of watercolor paints, pencils, pens, markers, powders, tubes, pans? What did you guys use for this July? How was it? How much fun do you have? Did you do short prompts like I did? Did you do the full 31 days? What is going on? Let me know all those amazing goodness in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.